I definitely messed up, y'all. I have a brand new grill, and as you can see, it does not look brand new. There's a whole story to it. Let's get into it. Now, this is my brand new, no, it doesn't look it, but this is my brand new Alamo Pro 120 from Fogues TX. And I have never used it, and I have neglected it, and it does not look good. Looks like a big old heap of rusty metal. I know what all these parts and pieces are, but I'm sure most of y'all don't. But I'm not concerned with most of the parts and pieces. We're gonna take a look around. Most of this stuff you're not gonna use on a daily basis. I'm more concerned with the main cooking grate. The basket I'll get to as well, but this is my main concern. Now also, y'all keep in mind, the company didn't do anything wrong. This grill has been sitting, what is it? This is September now. I got this in March. So it's been sitting outside 6 months. It has been under a cover, but I think my sprinkler system's been getting to it. And overall, I didn't season everything when I first got it because I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Life got in the way. Had 2 graduations. My kids graduated college and high school. Had a bunch of other stuff going on, other opportunities with what I'm doing with this YouTube thing. And so, yeah, man, it just wasn't a priority. So again, it's no slight against the company I bought it from. I did have to contact them about a couple of things, and they were absolutely fantastic, y'all. So shout out to Fogues TX. They did everything they could to help me, and I had no problem with them, no problem with the purchase. All of this stuff, y'all, is supposed to be like this. I ordered this in a rust finish because honestly, I didn't want to have to deal with the upkeep of keeping something looking good, especially when I feel like something like this, when you're introducing heat, the elements, this is going to always be outside. It's going to end up looking like rusty anyway. So I didn't see the point in buying something that was finished and then having the pressure of keeping up with that. So, but again, I'm going to get started, y'all. I'm going to go grab some tools, get to work on this thing, see what I can do to get it back to life. I want to cook on this tomorrow. We'll see how far I get. I'm going to take all this stuff out. There's a lot of parts and pieces to this. This is a big Argentinian open fire grill, and put a picture up here. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's fully assembled and all the parts and accessories are attached. I'm not going to be doing all that today. I probably won't be doing that most of the time because at this point, it's just me and my wife here. All the kids have moved out on me, and that wasn't the case when I ordered this thing. But again, if I'm having a big party, or I'm going to do an event or something like that, I'll hook all that stuff up. But for now, just the grill grates, the griddle, and there's some other little parts for like the provoletta and stuff like that that I did put in the garage that didn't come out like this. Those are tucked away in the house, nice and clean. Yeah, we'll get this stuff out that I'm not going to need anytime soon. I'll work on that stuff later. The main cooking areas is what I'm focused on. So let's get this stuff out so we can get to cooking. I might try to tackle this today. I'm not sure. This is a basket. It's like a clamp basket that you could put like a cabrito, like a little baby goat, or chickens, ribs, things like that. You clamp them down. I'm not going to be using this anytime soon. We'll see what kind of time we're working with. If I can get to it today, I'll get to it today. Y'all, this is mostly just surface rust. Like, nothing's pitted, nothing's deep. It's just not fit to cook on. I wouldn't cook on anything that looked like this, so we got to get it all cleaned up. But in order to do that, I got to get this stuff out of my way. This is a hanging basket. You'll typically see chickens, things like that in there. Assorted birds. These are spit pieces. So again, it comes with a lot of different stuff, y'all. But again, the majority of it I am not going to be using anytime soon. So I'm just going to get it out of my way. These clamp type pieces that clamp on to the rim of the grill. These pieces I'm going to just attach to the grill so that I don't lose them. And they lock on. They're not going anywhere. So they won't be in my way. And y'all, it's quite hot out here today, so if y'all see me sweating and carrying on, don't worry about it, mind your business. So one thing I can say, y'all, even though there's a lot of parts and pieces to it, this thing is really, really easy to put together. I know it looks like a big monstrosity, and it is, but it was mostly put together. The main parts of it, you don't have to deal with. The frame, the pit, those arms and stuff like that. All that stuff came affixed, and it's just the little odds and ends and accessories and stuff that you have to get put on. So this is the brazier. This is where you burn down wood, charcoal, things like that to get coals for your grill. Mine was actually missing a leg, and when I told you earlier in the video that the company, Fogues TX, and they're out of Argentina, they took care of me, man. I was missing a leg, and they sent me out what I needed. And so this is the last piece for this that I need to put on. And again, that goes on like so. It's just a bolt that holds it on. And you know, when I was saying before about how easy this is to put together, they even give you the wrench. All the bolts were the same size. They even give you the wrench to put this thing together with. And I thought that was pretty cool. When my son and I put this together, I had my full toolbox out, you know, didn't know what to expect. I ain't need it. All I needed was this wrench that they give you. So, brazier is complete. So y'all, my main items I'm gonna focus on, this is the little plancha and the main cooking grate. Those are the parts I'm gonna be cooking on in the close future here. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. This is my DA grinder out of my garage. I got 120 grit sandpaper on there. And I'm gonna try that first. I think that should knock it out, because again, y'all, this is just, it's just surface rust. And I don't wanna go too aggressive because I don't wanna damage anything. I'm gonna bring the camera over so you can get a good look at what we're looking at here. So again, nothing super bad, y'all. It was under the cover the entire time. Move the grinder so you can see the plancha. But again, it's not what I want to cook on. Certainly what I'm not going to serve food from this. And so I'm going to get this stuff cleaned up, and we're going to light a fire, get this stuff oiled up and seasoned up so that we don't have this problem again. I'm not worried about the inside of the pit, like not even a little bit. There's going to be fire in there, man. And I'm not cooking food in there. I'll blow out all the little debris, the leaves and such, but I'm not worried about the rust, because again, y'all, the rust is what I ordered. I ordered the rust color on finish. All the stuff you see, again, y'all, this is the way it's supposed to be. The wheels, all that rust, as you can see. The nameplate, it's, you know, what it's supposed to be. All this other rust, that stuff's on purpose, just not the cooking surfaces. I'm going to swap out my fancy glasses for some safety glasses, because, you know, safety first. Keep these eyes intact. The best thing I got is these eyes. Well, no, maybe not. Probably my hair, huh? That hair be hairing. That hair does what it does. So we'll put these to the side and get grinded. Going to start about 3,000 RPM. See how this acts. Yeah, 3,000 ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna try 5,800. Let's see. All right, I like the way it's coming out so far. But this is gonna take some time. Yeah, it's gonna take some time, y'all. But it's coming. I'm gonna work around the edges here, but it's definitely cleaning up on the top. Back to work. All right, y'all, I'm mostly happy with the grate. There's a few spots that were pretty tough that this DA it's just not able to handle it. This is not what this was meant for. This is meant to polish, not necessarily to sand. And so it's bogging down. So some of these trouble spots I'm gonna just finish by hand. I already have the sandpaper that goes on there. So the spots that I'm not happy with, and it's not a bunch, I'll just finish by hand. I'll be done with this in just a minute or two. Well, maybe not a minute or two, 4 or 5 minutes. And then I'll move on to the plancha side. All right, now we're gonna do a little plancha piece. This isn't really bad, so this won't take long. All right, y'all, that's looking really good. I have to get in the corners manually. So I'm just gonna take the sanding pad right off of my polisher here and get in the corners by hand. Wish I had one of those little, I think they used to call it like a mouse, that little sander that was able to get in corners. I sure could use one of those right now, but we'll get it done. All right, gonna blow all this out and see what we're looking like. Now we're coming to the home stretch. I got a clean old rag and just got some vegetable oil. So I'm gonna start wiping this down. We're gonna burn this thing in, get it seasoned up well. Let's get my plancha and the grates. Got all the rust off of there. Got them nice and smooth, nice and clean. So this is the next step. So I'm gonna wipe these down thoroughly. Then I'm gonna go back over, take off any excess. Then I'm gonna light a fire, get coals up under all this, and keep coals up under all of those, the grates, the plancha, so that way we can get this stuff seasoned in, cooked in, and get this thing looking great. So let's get to wiping. This is the fun part, not so fun part. First thing I'm gonna do is just give this a dry wipe. Make sure that nothing is lingering on here. And it's looking good. All right. So again, y'all, I'm just using plain old vegetable oil. I do not recommend. People like to use bacon fat or tallow, things like that. I do not recommend any animal fats. I know people swear by them when they're doing their pits or grills or whatever, but that's a big risk of things getting rancid really fast. And if they're not refined or clarified, the smoke point isn't really all that high anyway, and you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. All right, I put a nice little dollop in here, and you can't tell I put anything. It soaked it right up, so I'm going to do a little more. And I'm going to get these top parts as well, all the edges. All right, that was the easy part. Hard part now is going to be getting all of these individual little grates. You know what? I'm smarter than this. I'm going to get my pastry brush. I ain't no sucker. Stand by, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm back with my pastry brush. Work smarter, not harder, what I say, and what everyone else says. So I'm going to actually use this little plancha. I'm just going to put some oil in here and make that like my little well, my little dipping area. So I'm just gonna paint this, y'all. I think this is gonna be more precise than trying to get it all those grates. Yeah. The larger areas I wouldn't be so concerned with using a rag. But these individual grates, man, these are thin sections. And trying to do all this with that rag seems like it'd be a little tedious to me. And this seems to be going much faster. Yeah. And y'all, this is soaking that oil up just as fast as that plancha did. That's all right. That's what I want. But I'm happy with the way that rust came off of here. Didn't have to cut in deep and gouge the grates or anything like that. Everything is still smooth like glass. Not worried about how it looks at the moment, because once we start putting fire to this thing, all that is going to change anyway. It's going to be like seasoning cast iron, carbon steel, anything like that. Same deal, same difference. It's going to build up patina and seasoning over time, and it'll have its own look. So what you see right now is not what it will look like after we burn this in, and it's not what it'll look like 3 cooks from now, 10 cooks from now, 20 cooks from now. All that stuff is going to change, and that's just the nature of it. All right, this is looking good. So I'm going to take this little bit of excess oil I got left. I'm just going to go along this edge here. I'm going to come along and just lightly wipe across here. I don't want to take off all the oil, but I don't want a standing pool of oil anywhere. So again, I'm just going across this lightly. I want to leave oil on, but I don't want standing oil. All right, y'all. This is all oiled up. Again, The rest of this stuff that looks like super rusty, I'm fine with that. It's the way it's supposed to be. The brazier, I'm not worried about that. That's going to be literally on fire every time I cook with this thing. I'm not worried about oiling it up. I'm not worried about the way it looks. It's going to look like this or worse by the time I'm through burning with it, and that's just fine. So let's get some charcoal. We'll get some starters. We're going to get a fire lit in here. We'll get to seasoning this thing up. All right, y'all, I'm going to be using briquettes for a couple of reasons. They're going to get hot fast. They're cheap. And I don't really use briquettes for cooking. So I'm going to use these instead of using the lump charcoal or wood that I would normally use. So this is going to be a good use for it. Plus my neighbor gave me this for free, so even better. I'm going to do quite a bit. Again, I want to really season this thing in. It's a lot of area to cover. So I'm probably going to use the majority of this bag, if not the whole bag. We'll see how much it takes, but we'll get this all lit up. Let's see how this goes. You might be wondering, okay, why'd you put all that charcoal in there and it's clearly going through the bottom? I do want this to be a bit of a controlled burn because I don't want like just this super blast of heat all at once. I want these to burn down the same way like if you were burning down wood or lump charcoal. I don't want it all to burn at once. I want a sustained burn, not a super hot burn, if that makes any sense. Got a couple starters there. And we'll get these lit up. A 1 and a 2. All right, we got fire, so we'll let this catch up. And I already got smoke billowing out of the top of the brazier, so I know we're in business. And y'all, I do recommend tumbleweed fire starters. I'm not locked into any specific brand, but I definitely recommend these over lighter fluid any day. These are just little bundles of wax. Let me show you one. It's just little bundles of wax, just coiled up wax. It's an all natural product. It all burns away. You never taste it in your food. And you don't have all those chemicals and petroleum-based items. I'm hearing music from somewhere. Oh, my phone just automatically started playing music. That's cool. But anyway, y'all, leave that lighter fluid alone. Get yourself some tumbleweeds. They're very reasonable. And at the very least, just get a piece of paper towel with some cooking oil on it, man. Light that thing. Stay away from that damn lighter fluid. Sorry to all those that sell lighter fluid, y'all, but that ain't it. It's time to move on from that. Let's get these coals going. So I got my coals spread out under the grates, under the plancha there. And the sun is not being kind to me, y'all, so bear with me, but I got smoke coming off of those grates and the plancha. Not sure if y'all can see that or not because of this sun, but there we go. Get up close. It is seasoning up nicely. As y'all can see the color on those grates, nothing like what we started with. No rust stuff going on, just good seasoning. I'm going to get my high heat gloves and still carefully Wipe a little more oil on all of this stuff. I'm just going to use the rag because I can double, triple that up and get a good bit of attention or protection. I don't know why I'm confusing those words, but again, though, I do really like the way this is turning out. And I got to tell you, I can already tell I'm really going to enjoy cooking on this monstrosity. But let me get my gloves, give this another little wipe down, and try to get as much seasoning on this as I can. It's hot as hell out here too, y'all, by the way. It's almost middle of, well, it's past the middle of September, almost the end of September. And it's still hot, hot, hot. Gotta love Texas. All right, so I got my rag nicely soaked with fresh oil. These are my Magna Chef high heat gloves, high heat barbecue gloves. And again, y'all, just giving this another coating. You can see how hot that is. That smoke is coming off of there already. That is a good thing for me. It means we're going to get seasoned really nicely. Make sure you have some high heat gloves if you're attempting this, because your day can go badly, because I got to tell you, all of this stuff is ripping hot. So I'm going to wipe down all the areas that I had previously seasoned. And yeah, I am very happy with the way this is turning out. And shout out to Magna Chef, y'all. Y'all can go to my site, check out Magna Chef gloves. These things are nice, man. I am just starting to feel a little heat. And let me tell you, this is hot. These things are great. And they call them Magna Chef because there's little magnets. And you just slap those together, pull your hand out, and it holds them together. Pretty cool, right? So we're gonna let this continue to burn. I think the hard part is done, y'all. But again, this is, yeah, quite hot. And it's quite hot everywhere. So I make sure to spread the coals out evenly. And I got them single layer as much as I could, so nothing is snuffed out and everything is burning. And yeah, I could cook on this right now if I wanted to. You ready to go in? I'll be there in a second. Well, look, y'all, I think my work is done, man. It came out much better than I thought it was going to, be completely honest with you. But yeah, complete transformation. It's seasoned in well. I'm gonna cook on this thing tomorrow. But what about all these other parts and pieces I've got, man? Those things are rusted up pretty badly. And something has to be done to them. So y'all let me know if y'all want to see another video of me handling and taking care of all these other parts and pieces. That stuff's gonna be a lot harder, a lot more tedious. Has to be done. Y'all just let me know if you want to see it. And hey, y'all, look, don't feel bad for me. I screwed this all the way up. This is all my fault. So learn from me, man. Don't neglect your equipment, or you end up putting in a whole day's work like me out here in the heat. Dog's not happy with you. I mean, you know, you don't want to do that to yourself. So look, y'all, I appreciate all y'all watching. Do the thing. You know the thing. Press those buttons, man. And check out this video. It'll be up here somewhere. There's another great barbecue video. It's around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Just press it.